The most inspiring leader for Gadwal. She is noted as the former Minister of Information and Public Relations, Cinematography. And now she is the dynamic MLA of Gadwal. May I take the privilege of inviting Srimati D.K. Aruna Bhaskara and to be the chief guest of the function. Everything is going to be done with her blessings, with her support. Heralding every development in Jogalamma Gadwal district. Is also expected at any moment and he will be coming. Go and sit in other classes. And I know that I was a student of English literature. I too got admitted in 2 or 3 classes. Former principal of SV University, Tirupati. May I take the privilege of inviting Professor Richard Memorable Masters Ma'am. Here, this is not a confined seminar limited to a district or a state, This is a national seminar where a lot of ideas are to be explored. That's why here, message for all our children. I feel it's a great joy of ecstasy and a happiness. Very profound professor. A professor who has got the prolific knowledge in the subject of Manda. Dear friends, dear delegates, it's a great honor for me to invite another people negotiate our so-called leader of this Jogalamma Gadwal district. Ma'am, are you empowering all of honor to come on today? The total globe was divided into 2. Maybe some years ago, maybe some decades ago, centuries ago. It's a great feeling. You ask any student in this college, whenever you happen to have your presence here. And really, one by one, do all the problems of the people in such a way that I request you. So I request you, ma'am, to grace this occasion to our presence. Has got this kind of indefatigable energy. She's a housewife, she has got 2 children, and in spite she has to take classes in the college, but she does. This is very great. I feel very proud to have with her. And really I feel very, very proud to work along with her only, because many things that we can learn from the elder people, from the younger people also. So she is the coordinator, she is the big, she is the top banana of this seminar. So I request you, madam, to take your seat. We have no any bias in that. We have no any barriers to invite any member onto the dais, because whoever appears to honor our in-charge principal, Sri S. Ganga. May I invite Srimati A. Radhika, the assistant professor of physics, along with her friends, honor our chief guest, Srimati D.K. May I request, may I invite Dr. K. Chandramohan, Assistant Professor, Member and Advisor of NIRD and State Planning Commission of Punjab. May I invite R. Sheshagiri Garu. May I take the privilege of may I request So may I take the privilege of requesting our A. Radhika Manangaru to honor Bandla Lakshmi Chandrasekhar Reddy garu. May I take the privilege of inviting Sri Mallikarjun, who has been heralding the development of Jogalamma Gadwal district in the highest manner. He is our IAS officer, the first IAS officer of Jogalamma Gadwal district, and within 1 year he has created Rajendra Garu and Manoj Kumar Garu to honor our chief guest, the district collector magistrate of our Jogalamma Gadwal district. Now, privilege of requesting our Tirthaya, lecturer in economics, to come forward and honor. It's a great honor for me to invite our doctor. May I take the privilege of honoring the principal of GDC Women. May I take the privilege of inviting our Radhika Madam, assistant professor of Garu with flower for me. I take the privilege of inviting to Srilata Madam Garu to honor Don Madam, GDC Women. Next item of the program is lighting up. New era of art. The district collector and the MLA of Gadwal and the municipal chairperson, market art chairperson, and the professor Chandra Chatterjee, and all the members are passionately involved in lighting up lamp. So far, in any program that was held in MALD Government Arts and Science College, this tradition was not practiced previously. And only maybe a few days back we got, and we thought of creating a new tradition, a tradition that reverberates our culture. So we want to do puja to showing reverence and respect to Maharani Adi Lakshmi.
Sir, one side.
Of our MLA and other public representatives in the district. The total credit goes to the district authorities. That one IAS officer working right from 8 a.m. come to our district collectorate office, you can find the IAS officer. So he is from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That is exemplary by himself only. This is really remarkable. One can be really so affected and downtrodden, suppressed society. And I could say that he is the savior of poverty-stricken people. May I take the privilege, because the district administrative officer has got a lot of official programs. May I take our district collector, district magistrate.
The way you invite and the way you conduct the program, it is sometimes more engaging than the speech itself. So, the president of the function, local MLA Gadwal, our guest Professor Chatterjee Garu, municipality chairperson Garu, all other dignitaries on the dais, all the other participants in this seminar, organizers of the function, and MALD degree college. A very good morning to all of you. And my day does not start at 8 a.m. generally 10. So I make it generally 10 to 10 rather than 8 to 8. So today we are having a national seminar on role of women SHGs in poverty, alleviation and empowerment of in this globalized era. So I don't have many facts or figures to say, but I'll give you 3-4 stories from my working experience in 3-4 different states. Number one, this place itself, we are having it in Joglamba Gadwal, newly carved out Joglamba Gadwal district. 1 year has passed yesterday. One of the main characteristics of this district, it is marked by migration, child labor, child marriage, low levels of education. I'm sorry to say that I am starting from negative points, but if you see, if anybody talks about the Gadwal district by which it is defined, finally, girl child and women have to face. If any society, any place is affected by migration, most affected segment would be the children. And in that also, more affected will be the girl child or the women of the household. Similarly, this place is also affected by child labor. This again leads to educate our children getting dropped out of schools. This also, so up to 5th, sometimes 4th class, 5th class, we can see that both the genders are being treated equally. But as we cross 6th class, 7th class, then they need to go to Zilla Parishad High School. Schools are not available in the village. Sometimes they have to travel 10 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 7 kilometers. So the who bears the brunt of it? Finally, girl child and women only bear the brunt of it. So what I'm trying to say, maybe it is by chance that we are having this seminar in this place, Gadwal, but symbolically we require such seminars, and I appreciate MALD College administration that they, on this particular topic, they are having seminar. We need to actually create a lot of awareness through such initiatives, through such activities in this place, so that all the people, this district has a population of 7 lakh. I think erstwhile Mehboob district had a population of 40 lakh. Though these things, child labor, migration are more pronounced here, but all these things affect the erstwhile district of Mehboob, and we actually need to create awareness in society, because administration, despite its best efforts, despite putting its best foot forward, is unable to deliver those kind of results which should have been there by now in last 40, 50, 60 years of independent India. Lot of places have developed, lot of places the socio-economic indicators have improved, but somehow I'm coming here after working in 7-8 districts in 3-4 states. So I can tell you from my cross-cultural experience that socially and educationally, I would rate this place, though I would not like to rate it, I am the person who is responsible for it, but I would rate from a third party perspective, I would rate this place as one of the most backward places, educationally and socially all over India. In some cases it will be worse than some of the tribal areas also. So with this background, we are having this seminar today. So self-help group in poverty, alleviation and empowerment of women. This model of self-help groups, I think it started somewhere in 90s. All of you would be glad to know, most of you might be knowing that United Andhra Pradesh was the best state in terms of self-help group empowerment, the number one in terms of having self-help groups, number two, having functional self-help groups, and actually whether they are engaged in economic activities or not. It is one of the states where there is a different act for forming societies for self-help groups. I'm talking of United Andhra Pradesh. The culture of self-help group, having a strong self-help groups, started in United Andhra Pradesh, and it is going on now also in both the states. I have worked in Andhra Pradesh also, I have worked in Telangana also. Somehow I feel self-help groups are more active and more engaged in economic activities in the remaining Andhra Pradesh than as compared to present day Telangana. Administration, government are striving hard that all the self-help groups are there, their institutional building, like having regular meetings, their grading, bank loans should be extended to them, they should be engaged in economic activities, all those things should be there, and finally they should be self-sufficient and not looking towards government for supporting them. That is the final target. What we see here generally, self-help group, okay, we have formed self-help groups. By monitoring and all, we are having institutional building. Institutional building means having their regular meetings, having in every meeting they would be reviewing the activities of the self-help group. There would be audit self-help group in Telangana and all their activities. So, how self-help groups are important, I'll give you an example. There is a tribal area in Vijayanagaram district called Parvatipuram. In that tribal area, there are around 1 lakh families. 60,000 families are tribal families, 40,000 are non-tribal families. Total accounts, total individual bank accounts. Out of those 75,000 accounts, around 65,000 individual bank accounts were with non-tribal population, which was around 50,000 families. Remaining 50,000 tribal families had only 5 to 10,000 individual bank accounts. All of us talk about financial inclusion. This term is in vogue since 12th plans. Like if you are not a citizen or if you are not a voter, you are outside the purview of state as in our nation, you are not counted as a person. Similarly, if a person does not have bank account, he or she would be outside the purview of the whole financial system which is running in our country. So in various reasons, because there were less number of banks, tribal area outreach is very difficult. Banks generally open their branches based upon their profit loss thing. So all those things were not happening. But we had a strong SHG system. 70 crores were extended. You compare it, so whole Vijayanagaram district around 200 crore to do because there was self-help group system over there. So once money goes, it shows. If industry ఉంది, అది కాకుండా వాళ్ళు ఏమేం ప్రొడ్యూస్ వ్యవసాయం చేస్తున్నారు అది తీసుకొని మార్కెట్లో అమ్ముకోవడం, all those activities finally led to normalcy over there. అట్లానే ఇంకా ఒక ఏరియా ఉంది Gorkhaland, all of you might have heard in last 5-6 months it was very disturbed. Darjeeling పైన Gorkhaland ఉంది. అక్కడ మావోయిస్ట్ ఇన్సర్జెన్సీ కాదు, అక్కడ సెపరేట్ స్టేట్ కోసం డిమాండ్ చేస్తున్నారు. మొత్తం షట్ డౌన్. అక్కడ కూడా అదే సమస్య. హిలీ ఏరియా ఉంది, ట్రైబల్ ఏరియా ఉంది. అక్కడ ఎకానమీ ఎలా నడుస్తుంది? అక్కడ చాలా టీ గార్డెన్లు ఉన్నాయి. టీ గార్డెన్లు అందరూ వీమెన్ మాత్రమే పని చేస్తారు, లేడీస్ మాత్రమే పని చేస్తారు. అది మనీ ఆర్డర్ ఎకనామీ. అప్పుడప్పుడు యూ కాల్ ఇట్ అ మనీ ఆర్డర్ ఎకనామీ. చాలా మంది ఫోర్సెస్ లో ఉంటారు, ఆర్మ్ ఫోర్సెస్ లో, ఆర్మీలో ఉన్నారు, వేరే చోట ఉన్నారు, గోర్ఖా రెజిమెంట్ లో ఉన్నారు. అక్కడ ఉన్న మేల్ ఎక్కువ పని చేయరు. మొత్తం టీ గార్డెన్, ఇంకా టీ గార్డెన్ లో అది టీ బుష్ నుంచి ఆ లీవ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ప్లగ్ ద లీవ్, సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు బెండ్ అండ్ పుట్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ద బాస్కెట్ at your back. అది తీసి వెనక పెట్టాలి. ఆ పనిలో విమెన్ ఎక్కువ ఫ్లెక్సిబుల్ ఉంటారు, ఎజిలిటీ ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి. కాబట్టి women are more preferred as workers, and sincerity ప్రకారంగా కూడా women are more sincere in that particular field. సో అక్కడ కూడా మొత్తం ఎకనామీ దాని ద్వారా నడుస్తుంది. అక్కడ కూడా సెల్ఫ్ హెల్ప్ గ్రూప్ ద్వారా చాలా వరకు బెనిఫిట్స్ ఇవ్వగలిగాము. Kerala also has tea gardens in Wayanad area. There is an area called Wayanad in Kerala. అక్కడ నా బ్యాచ్మేటే ఆయన ఏం చేశారు, అందరు టీ గార్డెన్ వర్కర్స్కి, విమెన్ వర్కర్స్కి అందరికీ సెల్ఫ్ హెల్ప్ గ్రూప్లో ఫార్మ్ చేసి వేరే గవర్నమెంట్ స్కీమ్స్ వాళ్ళ ద్వారా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసి within a short period of 2 years he was able to improve the socio-economic indicators of families living in those tea gardens in Wayanad. So there are various examples of where that self-help groups can actually take the government benefits, and you can see the improvement within a short period. There are 4-5 clauses that I said in that sentence. Number 1, government benefit కింద వరకు తీసుకొని పోవాలి. మన గవర్నమెంట్ సిస్టమ్స్ చాలా ఇన్ఎఫిషియెంట్ ఉంటాయి. ఒక 100 రూపాయలు ఖర్చు చేస్తే తెలుగు ఎంత వరకు కిందకి పోతుంది. Some people say 70 rupees going down, some people say 40 rupees. కొంతమంది చెప్తారు 30 రూపాయలు మాత్రం పోతున్నాయి. But actually nobody says 100 rupees are not going. 100 rupees are not going. Whether it is 30 rupees or whether it is 70 rupees, it is a matter of debate. Self-help, extending government benefits through self-help group is almost a sure short way to actually give 90 to 100 rupees to the intended beneficiaries. That is number 1. Number 2, time bound manner. అన్ని డిజిటల్ అయిపోయింది, డబ్బు ఇస్తే డైరెక్ట్ ఎలక్ట్రానికలీ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అయిపోతుంది. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ అ ఫాస్ట్ వే ఆఫ్ గివింగ్ మనీ, ఫాస్ట్ వే ఆఫ్ గివింగ్ బెనిఫిట్స్. Number 3, whether we will be able to get the outcome for which it is intended for. Our governments are generally output or outlay based. कि सर इंత ఖర్చు చేసేసాము, ఆ ఖర్చు చేస్తే ఎంత లాభం వచ్చింది సొసైటీకి లేకపోతే ఇంటెండెడ్ బెనిఫిషియరీకి. సో ఆ అవుట్కమ్ కూడా, because it is going to in the hands of the women who are in the household, who will be taking care of all the budget of the household, who will be taking care of the children. Actually intended benefit, there are various studies to show that actual intended benefits reach and the outcome is also achieved. I think there are many speakers who will be telling you, giving you the data, ఏమేమైంది మన రాష్ట్రంలో, ఏమైంది మొత్తం దేశంలో, ఏమైంది. అది చూస్తే మీకు ఇంకా మంచి పర్స్పెక్టివ్ డెవలప్ అవుతుంది. మేబీ మీరు అందరూ భవిష్యంలో ఆ పర్స్పెక్టివ్కి తీసుకొని కొంతమంది ఫీల్డ్లో కూడా పని చేస్తారు. బట్ ఇన్ మై ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఆఫ్ 10-11 years in various states, in various public position, this is one of the sure short efficient way how to improve the lives of the downtrodden, and it affects around 70% of the population, 50% women, 20% children. So I do not have data, but I just told you some stories, just giving positive examples, negative examples. మన జిల్లాలో చూస్తున్నాము, మన రాష్ట్రంలో చూస్తున్నాము. ఇంకా ఎస్హెచ్జి స్ట్రెంగ్థనింగ్ చేయాలి, ఎస్హెచ్జి సిస్టమ్ స్ట్రెంగ్థనింగ్ చేయాలి. Final step is not giving bank loan. Final step is how to make them, how to put them in an economically beneficial activity. That is the final outcome of this exercise. I've told a lot of your time. I've taken a lot of your time. Actually, I have a meeting somewhere else. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, MALD administration, for inviting me and allowing me to interact with all of you. Thank you.
live examples of various places how poverty can be alleviated and women can be made powerful and empowered. So really we enjoy ourselves. The next item of the program, since create a lot of reforms in Palamur University, he has been doing a lot of excellent reforms. College. Souvenir was passionately sponsored by our MLA, D.K. Aruna Barsama Reddy Garu. As I told you already in my first initial speech, whatever the academic development that was taking place, that is being taken very, very inspiring MLA. And I really express our sincere thanks for making his celestial presence here. So, the journal of this today national program is so voluminous.